Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my gosh, we're back. It's Christmas week. How did we get here? Is this not the craziest? It's already here. It's upon us. Well, welcome to the It's Not You pod, the place where your symptoms finally make sense. I'm Jackie, your perimenopause fat loss coach. I spent 15 years coaching figure skating before my own hormonal shift rewrote everything I knew about my body. Now I help women like you burn fat, fix the fatigue, and drop the bloat and stop buying the bullshit that it's just your age, because why should we have to live like this? So if your body's been acting different, you're in the right place. This is for you. So I hope everybody is having a great week leading into Christmas. And if you are not celebrating Christmas, I hope the holiday that you do celebrate, if there are any, have been enjoyable. And overall, I hope this season has been awesome for everyone. I know it can get really crazy. Even if you don't celebrate, it's crazy for everyone because, if you're in a corporate role, things are winding down for the year. If you are a parent, we know how that goes. If you're a caretaker, we also know how that goes. So, welcome one and all, because it's crazy for everyone. Even if you're a kid, it's crazy for you too, because everybody's winding everything down around you and you're circling the drain with us. So it is a very, very chaotic time. Staying hydrated. Mm-hmm. That's how we do it. Gotta stay hydrated. I drink at least 3, if not 4 of these a day, because I'm about at a gallon a day. This is what I keep with me throughout the day while I'm working, and then I drink more from a glass at dinner, like everybody else, because I don't bring my sippy cup to the table. Nothing wrong with it, but I like to feel at least a little bit like everybody else, right? So, yeah, no, I'll drink at least a couple more glasses in addition to that. So that brings me to about a gallon. And then in addition to that, if I'm working out, there is another container that I use that is a half a gallon. So I actually go through that. So that's a gallon and a half. I drink a lot of water. I am a fish. I'm a Pisces. I'm a Pisces, guys. It makes sense. I love it. We have a guest. Maggie, welcome.
Hello, I'm driving out here. I'm meeting a girlfriend for lunch.
I love that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Maggie, I love that you joined today because I want to talk about overwhelm today. And I feel like you're the perfect person to bounce this off of, because I know that we've worked so much on that and you've come so far with it.
Well, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. How
overwhelming. Yes, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you like to do what you like to do and you're used to doing those things. And also, you are a very busy lady when it comes to your job and taking care of your family. And, that's a lot of us.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just nice to like unhook though. Like I'm off now until the 5th, so I'm just
Yeah.
one day at a time now. Just
Yeah.
relaxing and meeting friends for lunch and
Mm-hmm.
during the work week to get it done.
It's true. It's very true. And, those tasks, when we're in a season of overwhelm, they could feel so much bigger and decisions can feel so impossible.
Yeah.
And, your bandwidth just feels super razor thin, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then that, for me, that causes then stress where I cry because it's overwhelming. Everything is overwhelming, and
Yeah.
I just can't. Yeah, that's how. And I've caught myself twice just having a mental breakdown, like with the
Mm-hmm.
hip and stuff. I just am done with the doctor, but that whole just having that mental breakdown of being pathetic and just being too much. And
Right.
now I cut down on my events online and I refocused and just now I'm just relaxing.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And it doesn't mean a lot of people kind of internalize that and they think, oh God, I'm so weak, right? But
Yeah,
you're human. I mean,
yeah,
there's only so much a human can take. There's a
right, yeah,
point,
yep,
you know,
yep. And then you get your breaking point, and then you're just then you come to the realization that I just can't anymore. That's just way too much.
right, right. And I think as women, we're conditioned to believe that we should function like this, and stay the same in every season despite work chaos, hormonal chaos, family dynamics, caregiving,
Yeah,
the emotional loads that we hold for others and ourselves,
yeah,
sleepless nights, menopause, perimenopause, you
right,
know, it's
yeah,
relationship pressure. I mean, the
yes.
list goes on, right?
Yeah, it does, and sometimes it just gets to be overwhelming, and I found that out, just overpacking, and now I'm like, okay, I'm done. I just, not saying that you're a loser or anything, but it comes a time where you're just like, enough is enough. I can't anymore. This is all I can give.
Right, right. And
And
it's okay to say I don't have enough to give more.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, what is someone going to say? No, find it.
right,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you
So
know,
it's been interesting just to see, just to feel the relief, when you say no, or no, we're not going to do that, or hey, how about this? And I'm like, how much junk can you pack in one day?
yeah,
No, how about if we do it? I can't do that. How about if we do it this way?
right.
You gotta, if I'm giving, you gotta be giving, or,
Hmm.
this is how it's gonna go. This
And
is how we roll.
I love your words, Maggie. We're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. It's assertive without being assertive, and you're taking the reins on that decision and you're directing traffic at that point. And I think it's really a great way to say it. I think those are the words that a lot of people wish they had in those moments. No, we're
Yeah,
not going to do this. We're going to do that. you know,
yeah,
and as
yeah.
easy it may seem, it's not always easy to let it come up and out of our mouths, right?
Right. Yeah. I've had to learn being a blended family. It's like, okay, I've got one. My son is the opposite way than my stepdaughter and her son, and he was two, and her husband, and my husband wants to go that way, and I'm like, no, we're not. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. How about if we do this?
Right.
And then we come up with something like, no, I'm not leaving my kids on the holiday alone, but I'm
Hmm.
willing to go up on a Saturday or a Sunday and spend the afternoon with them.
Right.
But I'm not leaving, we're not doing that. And
Right.
I'm not doing that. And I'm not sending that message to my kids.
Hmm.
But I am willing to do this. And it usually works out if you're willing to throw something out there as a compromise. It usually works out. And it worked out splendidly this weekend.
That's
So,
wonderful. No, I'm so
yeah,
glad because that feeling of overwhelm in those moments, it's not just something mental, it's actually physiological,
right.
and
Yeah,
we sit with that because that stress load will it's telling you you're exceeding your capacity, right? And your nervous system will shift into protection mode, and about this very well with adrenal fatigue, having experienced that, and
Yeah.
the physical aspects of, you know, having to stop working out and digestion stuff that happens with that in all different types of ways because everybody's
Right.
different when it comes to that. So,
Yeah.
you know, you freeze and that's, you know, that indecisive moment, you feel stuck. You know, you're going
Right.
into flight, which is
Yeah.
avoidance. You're going to fight it with your irritability sometimes. And then you kind of fawn, you know, as you're being over accommodating to everybody because maybe you feel guilty and you're giving in. And, you know, and that physiological thing is continuing to happen inside of you while everybody else is like, oh, good, we get to do what I want to do, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to always accommodate, and then you have to bring out. I don't know. It's just I'm learning now that okay, so we can make it work, but it may not be always the way that it appears it should work. Right? We got to
Yeah.
think outside of the box and
Something for
make sure.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, change it up a little bit.
Yeah. No, I love that. And it's important to note it's not a personality flaw. You know, it's your biology keeping you safe. And, you know, understanding why we're feeling that way and how to navigate it is going to help us kind of move forward in that healthy way and
Right.
support ourselves, you know, in that
Yeah.
way.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And overwhelm, most importantly, it's not a sign to push harder. It's a sign to shift how you're leading yourself through the situation.
Right. Yep. And sometimes I will say to him, my husband, that is, something will happen, and I'll be, that is not a today's problem. We will deal with that another time.
I love that. I love that so much. I love that you have the words to navigate so well through these situations and you're using them, you know, and it's working. So it shows, you know, for anyone who's listening, if you implement these things, it really does work. And it's not like a an argument or anything like that. You're just, you know, calmly saying, this is what we're doing, you know, instead of this, we're doing this and we're going to accomplish something for everybody today, you know, and that's a very, very friendly way of saying this instead of that so that you can protect and support yourself in those moments. So you don't have to feel overwhelmed.
And it applies to work too. I mean, like, there's
Mm-hmm.
things that come up, and I'll say something to my manager, and he'll be like, Maggie, please. And I'm like, well, it's not a today's problem. We'll figure it out another time, but know that this is going to be solved. But not today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, girl, who hasn't
Yeah.
been there and
Yeah.
has that
You gotta,
situation?
yeah, sometimes you just
Yeah,
gotta let go, and we always, I think we are empowered as females or women, to fix everything for everybody and come up with the solution. And sometimes it's like, okay, you know what, I may have a solution to this, but you know what, somebody else has got to, like, hey, I'm not the only person here that's working this problem, so I'd
that's
like to
right.
see what other people have to say about it and
Yeah,
what I can do
that's
about it.
exactly, exactly. So, where do you find you've been blaming yourself for overwhelm instead of kind of recognizing that it is?
Um, where in my personal life, it's more like I've got to do everything myself, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
ask because sometimes like doing it yourself is just easier than trying to explain it to everybody and getting frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm just like, okay, if I explain it step by step,
Mm-hmm.
um, then that works. So asking for help, and not expecting them to read my mind. And at work, it's like, okay, I'm meeting my objectives in one area, but I'm only one person, and I'm the only, like, there's four other people here that can help do this.
Right, right.
So it's not all on me. I'll do my part and I'll meet
Mm-hmm.
my objectives and such, but other people have to pull the weight.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that. And, you know, as you kind of move through, since this is like the holiday week and, you know, really the next couple of weeks we're moving through into the new year, you know, take those moments and see where that overwhelm maybe creeps in and where you might push to make that even 1% better, you know?
Right. Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
when our next check in comes, we'll talk more about that. I'd love to hear more about like how that's going for you over the holidays.
Yeah, and also sticking to no, this is what we're doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
we had, okay, Saturday we're going to see your grandson. Sunday we're going to your friend's house that we went to Aruba with. We're doing a holiday there with them, and we're
Mm-hmm.
finishing up our Christmas shopping. I'm meeting my girlfriend on Monday for lunch. Tuesday, my daughter and I are going to breakfast, and we're doing cookies. And today he's like, but I have to wrap gifts, and I'm like, you can wrap gifts in the dining room or downstairs, but this
Mm-hmm.
kitchen and this area is ours.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I love
So
that.
that yeah.
I love that. Maggie taking charge.
Yeah. I'm like, you can, yeah,
I
he
love
asked, can
it.
I go to breakfast? Yeah, you can go to breakfast with us, but I'll ask. But then the rest of the day is my daughter and I cooking, and we get this. You can't be on this table.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And just sharing a little bit here, Maggie is about to embark on Christmas cookie baking. So, Maggie, if you would like to share with us a picture of the cookies in the group, we'd love to see it.
Sure will. We'll do that tomorrow.
Well, you guys
Sure.
enjoy, and thank you
All right.
so much for joining. And,
Yeah. Great.
for anyone who's listening, if this conversation resonates, your next step is to take your wellness IQ, comment or DM me IQ, and I'll send you the quiz so you can understand what your body's been trying to tell you. Maggie, thank you so much.
Have a good Christmas, and I'll
You
send some pictures.
too.
All
Love
right,
it.
we'll talk to you maybe next week.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.